In today's video, we're going to be talking about constructive criticism and why it is a terrible technique to use whenever you're trying to help someone improve. Now, if you would like to know why I disagree with constructive criticism, then please stay tuned to the end of the video and I will show you exactly why I can't stand constructive criticism. Now, as we've all heard of constructive criticism, now some people think constructive criticism is a good thing, and it actually can be a good thing, but the way how most people do constructive criticism, it doesn't come off as a good thing. It almost comes off as a negative. So let me explain what I'm talking about. Now, so why constructive criticism is destructive in the workplace, okay? So let's start off by talking about why constructive criticism is terrible in the workplace. Now, whenever you constructively criticize someone, basically what you're doing, you're basically giving them your viewpoint. You're giving them alleged coaching. You're giving them alleged guidance, but actually, you're actually only giving that other person your viewpoint of the world. And what I mean by that is constructive criticism is only constructive to the person who's giving the constructive criticism. Constructive criticism really is a way of almost slipping a little side jab in, so to speak, but try to still keep it ethical and try to keep it clean, so to speak. But if you do constructive criticism the wrong way, it can come off as like condescending, and it can come off like the complete wrong way. And that's one thing that you do not want, especially when you're dealing with your employees who are on your front line, on your customer support line. You always want to make sure, as their manager, as their subordinate, or whatever your position is, you want to always make sure that you know how to approach your team members whenever you need to evaluate them, or whenever they need to be, I'm not going to say disciplined because everybody's grown, but whenever they like some kind of corrective action needs to be taking place, I would recommend to not use constructive criticism. And I'm going to show you what I recommend using. And it's on this side of the board. Now, let's get started with constructive criticism and the downside of that. Now, again, so why constructive criticism is destructive in the workplace? Number one, it destroys relationships in the workplace. Now, let me give y'all an example of what I'm talking about, how constructive criticism is supposed to be allegedly helpful, but how it can actually destroy a relationship in the workplace. Now, for this example, I'm going to go back in the day when I used to work at an office supply store. For legality here, I'm not going to say the name of the office store, but I used to work there, and we had this one manager. Her name was Lisa. Lisa was real nice. She was calm, cool, collective, very nice lady. She was from Louisville, Kentucky. And so when Lisa first came to the store, you know, she was like overzealous about everybody, you know, having a safe space and all of this and all of that. And the message that Lisa was putting out to us employees, the team members, was the fact of like, hey, you know, you can come to me with anything. My door is open. So as a new manager coming in, Lisa actually set a really good expectation for us team members. She really made us feel like in like unison, so to speak, on like her first 2 or 3 days. Now, about a week after Lisa was the manager of this office supply store I used to work at, she started really changing. She kind of started doing constructive criticism, but it was the wrong way of doing constructive criticism. Now, let me give you an example of how Lisa done constructive criticism, and I would like for y'all to just really listen to this example, and it could be something that you may naturally do. Now, if you naturally do this, that's okay, because we can kind of help you alter that. But now just listen to this example of how Lisa constructively criticized me and my job that I was doing when I was selling office supplies. Now, I'm in the break room eating a pimento cheese sandwich, okay? And I hear my name being announced over like the loudspeaker. It was like, Tony Reed to the front, please. Tony Reed to the front. So I put my pimento cheese sandwich down. And then what happened was I go to the front and I see Lisa. Lisa's like, hey, Tony, come on in my office. So, you know, I'm walked into the office. So next thing you know, when I got inside of the office, Lisa was like, Tony, oh my God, man, you are amazing. Like, your sales numbers are high, and you're this and you're this and you're that. Now, when Lisa was telling me this, my chest was, you know, swelling up, you know, like my head was like a lollipop head. It was getting really big because Lisa was, you know, complimenting me, and Lisa was telling me the great things that I was doing for the company. Okay. Now, Lisa was like, yeah, Tony, so you're doing this, keep up the good work. Man, you're going to be in line to be my apprentice for my manager apprentice. So at the time, I'm like a teenager. So I'm like, to be a manager's apprentice, like, oh shit, like that's like a top tier honor for me at that time. And I was like, wow, yeah, I want to be your manager's apprentice, Lisa. Yes, sign me up. And as Lisa kept talking, here's where the constructive criticism came in. Lisa was like, Tony, now the only thing is, I want you to slow down when you talk, Tony, because you talk very, very fast, Tony. You know, I need for you to do this. And then when you talk to the customers, talk to them in a way, Tony, so you can get in, get out. Boom. You know, I don't need you, Tony, talking to customers for 15 to 20 minutes. They're only in here, Tony, to buy pencils, ink pens, lead, toner, and paper. So that's all they need to do, Tony, is just come in, get their items, boom, 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 and then get out of Dodge. Next customer in, please. So, Tony, now, again, you're doing a great job, but I need for you to change those things. If you need to be the way how I'm telling you, Tony, so that way you can get the manager's apprentice job. I want you, Tony, to get that job. But see, in order to get that job, Tony, again, stop talking so fast. Don't keep the customer so long, and just do that. Now, as Lisa was telling me this constructive criticism here, I didn't really feel like it was too constructive. Actually, I feel like it was deconstructive. Hell, Lisa broke me down like a transformer. You know, my mood was up here when I went into the office. I was overzealous going into the office. But then once Lisa constructively criticized me, that actually put me in a spot to where I didn't even want to be her manager's apprentice. I'm like, manager's apprentice? No, I don't want to be no apprentice. I don't even want to work here no more. What? Like, she killed my spirit. Like, again, my mood was way up here. And because she constructively criticized me, which she allegedly thought was the right thing to do, she actually killed my vibe. She killed my mood. And then she actually made me want to do something. And here's what Lisa actually made me want to do. Because Lisa, up until that point, we had a really good relationship. Now, once Lisa constructively criticized me, she destroyed our relationship completely. Now, when Lisa destroyed our relationship by her being my manager, that made me, as an employee, a team member, that made me want to go put my 2 weeks notice in. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. That honestly made me want to go put my 2 weeks notice in, because I felt that I was doing a good job. You know, the customers would always compliment me. Oh, Tony, man, you're the best sales associate ever. Oh my God, you're so friendly. You're so calm. You're so nice. Oh my God, you have manners and this and this and this and that. So every single thing that the customer was telling me I was good at doing, my manager, Lisa, was telling me to quit doing it. So that kind of left me in like a catch-22 situation, so to speak, because it was like, do I listen to my manager or whatnot, or do I listen to the customer? Now, the customer is the one who is actually paying the bills. The customer is the one who's actually, you know, keeping me employed. They're the ones who's actually, you know, keeping my payroll going. So I'm thinking, do I listen to Lisa or do I listen to my customer? Now, I did the best thing for me, and I continue to listen to my customer. I'm like, you know what? Lisa doesn't pay my paycheck. Lisa only issues me my weekly paycheck every week, but Lisa hasn't paid me one dime. The customers who come into this office supply store here, they're the ones who are paying my bills. They're the ones who putting gas in my car. They're the ones paying my $185 per month insurance note back then. That's who I need to make sure that I am making feel good and included. It's the customer. So now, when Lisa constructively criticized me, again, that left me furious. Like, again, that just completely destroyed our relationship. It completely destroyed it. So from that point on out, I wanted to put my 2 weeks notice in, and I just despised coming to work. Up until that point, I love coming to work. My job was about 45 minutes away from my grandmama's house when I was living at home, my grandmama, my granddaddy. The job I had was about, like I said, about 30 to 45 minutes away from home. So I would leave out of my bed, shower, get dressed, and get in my Malibu, drive to the office store, and I would be like enthused to go to work. But then once Lisa constructively criticized me, that actually killed my mood. It made me not want to come to work. It actually made me want to like play hooky. It made me not want to even be bothered with Lisa, because I knew even though I was doing a good job in my customer's eyes, it was some kind of issue in my manager's eyes. And that kind of left me in like a weird situation, because it's like, damn, I only see the customer for like 10 minutes, like every 2 weeks, but I got to deal with Lisa 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, So I was like, ugh. So that's why I completely disagree with constructive criticism in the workplace. Now, constructive criticism also can happen inside of your home also. So let me do a constructive criticism inside of the household. Now, when you do constructive criticism inside of your household to your spouse or your kids, it doesn't matter, but it has to be inside of your immediate household. It could be to your mom, your dad, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, grandmama, granddaddy, T.O., T.R. It could be anybody who is in your immediate household. If constructive criticism takes place inside of your immediate household, it's not a good thing. Now, let me raise the stakes here, and let me keep it between a husband and a wife, or either two spouses together. Now, let's just say if one spouse was out and they spent all day in the kitchen baking cookies. They were sitting there kneading dough and rolling pins and, got flour all on their face. And they really put forth a really big effort to make these cookies for their spouse. Okay. They spent like 2 hours making the recipe and 45 minutes baking the cookies to perfection. Okay. So the spouse actually sets the cookies out. Boom. And the spouse is like, man, I can't wait until my significant other gets home so they can try these cookies. I really put my heart and soul into these cookies. I cannot wait till my spouse tries them. Oh my God, like it's my grandmama's recipe. Oh my God, they're going to love these cookies right here. And then your spouse comes home. Oh, hey, babe. Hey, can I get one of these cookies right here? And then you're like, yeah, go ahead, babe, get a cookie. So your spouse reaches in, grabs a cookie, starts biting the cookie. Oh shit, babe, these cookies are pretty good right here. They soft, soft batch, very flavorful, rich, chocolatey, creamy. Tastes real good. Now, everything is going good, okay? You, the cook, the spouse who was the cook, is feeling real good that your spouse is enjoying the cookies. Now, let's bring the constructive criticism in. Now, yeah, babe, these cookies are good as hell right here, boy. Shit, these are real good. Now, the only thing is, when I chewed the cookies and I swallowed, I need a little bit of water. These cookies was a little bit dry, babe. Like, I know they was a soft batch cookie, but like they could have used maybe another quarter cup of sugar. And then to make it kind of go down my throat the right way, they should have had a little bit more butter to make the cookies come off the sheet, because you kind of burnt them on the bottom like just a wee bit. They're not bad or whatnot, but see, they're not like my grandmama's cookies when my grandmama used to make them. My grandmama didn't burn the cookies at the bottom. Your cookies were good, babe, but my grandmama cookies, oh my God, I'm gonna have to get my grandmama's recipe. And if you listen to her recipe, what that's gonna do, your cookies are not gonna turn out burnt like this. Again, your cookies were good, babe, but I just want you to try my grandmama's recipe. Now, that is constructive criticism inside of the household. Now, the spouse who was sitting there, spent all day kneading, pressing, and rolling, and with rolling pins and stuff like that, guess what they're going to do to the spouse who was complaining about them cookies? Guess what they're going to do? Now, the spouse who was complaining about the cookies, they're going to be right here in the doghouse. This is a doghouse. This is a house, doghouse. So that's where you're going to be. If you go up there and criticize your significant other, spouse, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, if you criticize them constructively for something like that, just imagine how defeated they're going to feel. And I guarantee you that your spouse from that point on out will not be too enthused on cooking you any more cookies from that point on out. You know, you better not even ask for them to even cook a cookie. Don't even think about a cookie. You better start going to the cookie store and getting your own cookies, because they not going to bake you no more cookies, because for one thing, you was unappreciative. You didn't realize what your spouse had to do. Your spouse was at home, kneading, pressing, rolling, doing all this, and spent all day making these cookies for you to constructively criticize the effort that they put in. And you didn't even see none of this effort. You've been at the office all day playing PS5 with the fellas or whatnot, you know, slow day at office. And then you came home, and then your spouse done all of this good stuff for you. And then you constructively criticize. Just imagine how your spouse is going to feel. Again, you go into the doghouse, Jack. Hey, it ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. You are going to the doghouse. And that's where you belong, the doghouse. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Tony, well, people need feedback. You know, people need to know what they doing wrong. People need to know people need to know, Tony. Constructive criticism, Tony, is a learning experience. Why do you hate constructive criticism? Now, if you hate constructive criticism, Tony, what method do you recommend that I apply to my life if I want to give somebody some great feedback? Now, that was a great question. Now, what I recommend to keep the relationship harmonious, I would recommend to switch constructive criticism. So no more constructive criticism, and switch it to something better. Now, let's switch constructive criticism into a thought-provoking exercise. Now, you will use a thought-provoking exercise instead of constructive criticism. Now, I'm going to give you examples of the work front, again, using the example from my office job manager, Lisa. And then I'm also going to give you an example of the home front again with the cookies with a harmonious relationship. And I'm going to show you the difference in a constructive criticism person and then a thought-provoking exercise. And you're going to see the difference in how much smoother a thought-provoking exercise is opposed to constructive criticism. Now, let's go back to know why a thought-provoking exercise is important. Now, number one, it keeps the relationship harmonious. Now, let's go back into the work relationship with your manager who was constructively criticizing. Now, in the previous example, my manager Lisa had deflated my spirit. She kind of almost like took all the air out of my chest because of the fact of how she constructively criticize me. She didn't constructively criticize me. She took miniature Ginsu knives and sliced me like Freddy Krueger all over my body. That's what Lisa did to me. She didn't constructively criticize me. She cut me all over. Now, what Lisa should have done was did a thought-provoking exercise versus constructively criticizing me, which that completely left me livid. Now, here is a thought-provoking exercise. Again, using the Lisa example from the office job. Now, I'm in the back eating some pimento cheese. My name is called over the PA system. Tony Reed to the front, please. Tony Reed to the front. So I put my pimento cheese sandwich down. I walk to the office. Oh, hey, Lisa, what's up? Tony, you are doing so amazing. Tony, you are wonderful, man. You kicking ass, taking names, and chewing bubblegum all at the same time, Tony. Now, I want you to be my manager's apprentice, okay? I want you to be my manager's apprentice. Now, I have a couple of questions for you, Tony, because I want you to get this job and I want you to succeed at it. But I do have a couple of questions for you, Tony. Again, I just want to see, where you're at, because I want to make sure that you are properly equipped to handle the manager apprentice job. Now, I'm going to say, okay, Lisa, yeah. What questions do you have? Lisa, in a thought-provoking exercise, would say, Tony, okay, now, my first question is, you're doing an amazing job. Is it anything that you yourself personally, Tony, think that you could do better when interacting with the customers? Well, Lisa, no, the customers like everything I'm doing and the customers really enjoy my conversation. So I can't really think of anything else, Lisa, that I can do. And then Lisa would say, okay, I completely understand. Now, is it anything that maybe you could improve on? Can you think of anything that you can maybe do differently? Or is there anything else, Tony, that maybe you can improve on? And then Tony would sit back and say, well, you know what, Lisa, now that I think about it, I kind of do spend a wee bit too long with our customers. I guess I kind of could cut it down a little bit because I'm only helping like 3 customers an hour. But the only reason why I like to help the customer and really talk to them, Lisa, is because I'm lonely. I don't have anybody at home to talk to, Lisa, except for my cat. And I have a goldfish, but neither one of them can talk. So I'm lonely, Lisa, so that's the reason why when I come to work, I'm overzealous. And that's the reason why you see me talking to the customers at 1,000 miles an hour. I just get overly excited, Lisa, to help serve our customers. And then Lisa would say, oh, wow, Tony, like, that's amazing. Like, wow, like, that's amazing. Yeah. You definitely are somebody who definitely needs to be in this manager's apprentice position, Tony. I'm going to do as your manager, Tony. I'm going to do everything in my power possible to help you get this manager's apprentice position. Okay. Do you have any more questions, Tony? No, Lisa, that's it. Okay, Tony, I'll catch you later. Great job. Keep up the great work. Your family's going to be really proud of you, Tony. Now, how do you think with the thought-provoking exercise, how do you think Tony is going to leave out of the office? Do you think Tony is going to leave out of the office? I'm put my 2 weeks in. No. How do you think Tony is going to leave out of the office after being involved in a thought-provoking exercise? Man, you know what? Lisa really got my best mind intentions. I mean, she really got my best intention in mind. Wow, like, I really enjoy Lisa. Man, like, I'm happy they went to Louisville and got her. Wow, man, like, Lisa is amazing. Like, damn, like, you know what I need to do? Shit, Lisa, can I get some OT, please? Overtime. Lisa, that's what I need, overtime. See, when you do a thought-provoking exercise, it makes your customer service reps enthused to come to work because they don't feel like they're being cut with little Ginsu knives. They don't feel like that they're doing something wrong. They don't feel like that they're, not doing something right. Because in order to have great customer success or great customer service in your business, you need to always make sure that all of your associates, your employees, even down to the janitor, need to have their mind in check. So the best way to help keep people's mind in check and keep their mind in the game is to make sure that you use thought-provoking exercises whenever feedback is needed to be administered. So again, throw constructive criticism out the window and let a thought-provoking exercise come in and take the place of constructive criticism. Because in a thought-provoking exercise, as you can see here on the board, this person here, who is the employee, is going to want overtime because of the fact that the employee is happy with what Lisa said. Employees only work overtime if they are happy with the person or the people of the company who they're with. Yes, people might work overtime to get a little bit of extra money and stuff like that, due to financial situations and things like that. But at the base of it, people would not do overtime and not have a certain amount of money on their weekly check just to dodge a manager who constructively criticizes and who tears them down. I'm serious here. People will avoid coming to work if you are in a managerial type position and you continue to tear them down with the alleged constructive criticism. Now, let's move over into the home front. Let me give an example of the home front and how a thought-provoking exercise keeps your home life front relationship harmonious. Now, it kept your work relationship harmonious. So Tony and Lisa are now in sync. Tony wants to sign up for overtime. Now, let's see what a thought-provoking exercise can do to your home life using the cookie example. Now, your spouse is at home all day. They've been baking, kneading, and stuff like that. You walk in from work. You walk in. Oh, hey, babe, can I get one of these cookies? These cookies smell good right here. Spouse walks in. Damn good cookie right here. Shit, Sarah Lee ain't got nothing on this. Man. Hey. Boy. This cookie is delicious right here, babe. Oh, man, like you really put your foot in this one here. Man, I do got a question for you, babe. Like, this is delicious. Like, did you use a 1/4 cup of butter or did you use 1/8 of a cup of butter? Oh, I used a 1/4 cup of butter. Yeah, babe, wow, this is amazing. I think the 1/4 cup of butter, that's like the perfect recipe, babe. Like, what about the sugar? Did you use like a cup of sugar, a tablespoon, teaspoon, like whatever measurements that you use, babe, to make these cookies? Hey, keep that up. If you want me to, I can get a website built for you and go up there and actually put your cookies online, babe, because this recipe here that you did, I noticed that you spent all day doing these, babe. Like, and thank you so much for your hard work and, making the cookies for the family, because I know you're not working right now. And I just want to thank you so much for all of your hard work that you do around the house, babe. Thank you so much for that. I really do. Maybe next time we can maybe make the cookies together or whatnot. Now, my grandmama, she has an old like family recipe that she makes us like every Christmas. Like, maybe we can like make her recipe together, and I can help make your grandmom's recipe, and then we can maybe make my grandmom's recipe and everything, and we can have a cookie party. Just imagine how the spouse who was sitting there baking cookies all day, imagine how the thought-provoking exercise is going to make them feel. You didn't sit back and bite into the cookie and sit back and was like, oh man, my grandmama cookies taste better than this. See, people unknowingly constructively criticize people. You do, because it's just a subconscious thing. It's just you just don't know that you're doing it, because we have been programmed to criticize. If we can get the old ways of criticizing people out of our mind and use a thought-provoking exercise to stimulate thought patterns and thought processes opposed to tearing somebody down. Because again, constructive criticism is only applicable to the person who is administering the criticism. Now, let me dive a little bit deeper into what I am talking about. Now, let's just say if a person grew up hating Dr. Pepper, and then another person grew up liking Coke, let's just say. Now, the person who likes Dr. Pepper, they're probably not going to like the brand Coke. So they're going to be kind of biased to Coke and everything. So if you got a Coke lover over here and then you got a Dr. Pepper lover, they're not going to see eye to eye. So the person who is a Dr. Pepper lover, they go and drink some Coke. They're like, it burns my tongue. It's too fizzy. They should have did this. They should have did that. So, people just unknowingly constructively criticize. But if we can get away from constructively criticizing, switch that up to a thought-provoking exercise to make sure that we are giving people the credit and the correct feelings that they need, because all of this is in pursuit of building a phenomenal customer service team for your company. And the reason you want to build a phenomenal customer service team for your company is you always want to paint the correct picture in the eyes of your customers. And once you paint the correct picture in the eyes of your customer, everything else will fall in line just like Klinko blocks. Now, again, if you paint the incorrect picture by having agents or team members or cast members or whatever you label your employees as, if your employees are upset, then they're not going to be too enthused to go out there and bust their ass to go out there and really serve your customers the way that they need to be served, because they're going to be thinking, man, if I go up here and do this way, man, I know my manager's going to go up there and constructively criticize me. And then when we have our one-on-one meetings, oh my God, I don't even want to go to work today, man. I got a one-on-one meeting with my manager, Tony. Oh man, I already know he's going to constructively criticize me. He's going to talk about how many calls I'm handling, how slow I'm going at work. Tony is going to do this, and he's going to just do this, and he's going to do that. Now, just imagine the agent who is at home getting ready for work, thinking all of these negative things about his manager named Tony. So that agent who has to drive 20 minutes away to come from his house to work in the snow isn't going to be too enthused to go to work and go deal with Tony's BS. So again, the best way to have great customer service is to always make sure when it comes time to talking to your employees or advising them that they're, doing something wrong or trying to help motivate them, please remember to use a thought-provoking exercise. Just remember, everybody takes criticism differently. If you go up here and tell me, oh yeah, hey Tony, man, this and this and that, I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy. I'm like, oh shit, you know what you're talking about. It's just gonna go over my head or whatnot. I'm not even worried about it, because you shouldn't listen to criticism. You shouldn't listen to criticism. You should only uplift people. And again, you can uplift somebody and still kind of help guide them or kind of help shift their direction with a thought-provoking exercise. Again, the thought-provoking exercise only stimulates the person's brain and it makes them see what they done wrong. So instead of like Lisa did earlier, telling me every single thing I done wrong and made me livid and infuriated me to make me not even want to come to work, where I literally wanted to put my 2 weeks in, but Lisa wound up getting fired because she was a kleptomaniac. We found out, but that's another story right there. But so I didn't even have to put my 2 weeks in, because before I was able to put my 2 weeks in, Lisa got arrested. So so I hate that she got arrested, but I'm happy that she didn't work for the company no more, because that made me more enthused to come to work. I hated had come to that, but again, once Lisa left, oh my God, like sales numbers skyrocketed, because the next manager that we had that came in, he knew how to talk to people. He knew how to talk to the agents. He knew how to push us in a way, and he knew how to talk to us in a certain way that kept us motivated, that kept us enthused. He was gentle with it. So when this particular manager came on, we had more people who had pay raises and who were moved up to higher positions when the new manager came in opposed to Lisa, because the new manager, he knew how to elevate you. He knew how to push you, and he knew how to make you think outside of the box. He was a master of the thought-provoking exercise. He didn't use constructive criticism like Lisa. He was a thought-provoking exercise master. Now, if you want to have great customer service, please dismiss constructive criticism and switch over to a thought-provoking exercise. If you like this video or you found it useful, please like and subscribe. That really helps me grow my channel. If you have any questions about the video, please comment below. I answer all comments. That's actually me. Or if you want to talk privately, please reach out to me at my direct email at info@tonyreed.tv, and I will be happy to assist you. Thank y'all again for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure. Until next time, I'll catch y'all later.